Good morning. So in the previous class we have studied what is a chemical reaction or the chemical changes, right? Whenever there is a chemical change, there is always formation of a new substance, right? So you have studied about the three example in the chemical change part, that is burning of a magnesium ribbon which is turning into ash. Okay. So we are getting the powder form of the magnesium oxide. When this magnesium oxide is mixing with the water, it is forming magnesium hydroxide. Here the magnesium hydroxide is also a new substance, right? And the second example you have studied about the copper sulfate solution. So initially your copper sulfate solution was blue in color, but when we are adding the metal or the iron in the copper sulfate solution, so what happens? The solution will change to green, right? So blue color of your copper sulfate solution is turning to green, right? So what happens? What is the reaction you can see? Copper sulfate solution, and when we are putting iron blade, it is producing iron sulfate solution. Okay, so totally a new substance is forming, that is your iron sulfate solution, and there is a deposition of a copper on the surface of the blade. Okay, and the third example you have studied, what happens? That is your figure 6.5, where we are adding or mixing vinegar and baking soda, right? What happens? So when your vinegar and baking soda reacts with each other, they are producing carbon dioxide gas, right? So after reaction they are producing the carbon dioxide gas. So how we are going to check there is a presence of carbon dioxide gas? So we are transferring the carbon dioxide into the lime water. Okay, so lime water is your chemical. Okay, one type of chemical we have chosen, that is your lime water. Okay, and it is called as a calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice, right? And it is forming calcium carbonate. Okay, so totally new chemical is produced, that is your calcium carbonate. Okay, when carbon dioxide is mixing with the lime water, it is producing calcium carbonate. Okay, so in all these three examples we have seen, whenever there is a chemical change or a chemical reaction, always there is a formation of a new substance will takes place, right? So whenever there is a chemical change, so what happened? There is a release of some kind of a heat or light. Okay. Then sound is produced, like when we are mixing vinegar and baking soda, you have seen the bubbles, right? Hissing sound is there. So that is sound is produced. Change in the smell can be realized, right? Whenever there is a chemical change, we can see a smell is coming from that reaction. Then color will change, like your iron sulfate is forming greenish. Initially it was copper sulfate blue, but after reaction it is forming iron sulfate solution that was converting into green color. Then gas may be formed, like in this reaction vinegar and baking soda. After reaction they are producing carbon dioxide gas, right? So in all these things we have seen that there is always formation of a new substance, okay, in a chemical reaction. And generally even we have kept some apple or the brinjal. Okay, if you have not seen cutting a fresh slice of a apple and keep it for some time, what happens? It become brownish, right? So that all are the chemical changes. Okay, and your spoiling of the food. Okay, when your food get spoiled, so there also there is a chemical reaction taking place, right? Now now the blue part what they have written, you must have heard of the ozone layer in your atmosphere. It protects us from the harmful ultraviolet radiation which comes from the sun. Ozone absorbs this radiation and break down to glucose and oxygen. Oxygen is different from ozone. So, if the ultraviolet rays were not absorbed by ozone, Earth's surface will he reach Earth's surface and cause harm to other life. So act as a natural shield. So what they have given the example of, or the blue box, a protective shield, right? So there is your Earth. Okay. So this is your Earth. What happened? As you have the sun, right? This is your Earth. Okay. And this is your sun. What happens? Your sun rays are falling on the surface of the earth, right? So these rays are very harmful. Okay, ultraviolet rays. Okay, what happens? It protect us. You have must have heard about the ozone layer in the atmosphere. Okay, so there is a layer what we call as a ozone layer. So the direct rays of the sun is very harmful. Okay, so we are not directly absorbing the rays of the sunlight. Okay, sun rays. Okay, so it has been, or your ozone will act as a protective covering, right? Otherwise, what happens if the direct sunlight will fall on your earth or fall on our earth? What happens? Can cause harm. So it would reach the earth's surface. Okay. So your sun will release ultraviolet rays. Okay. So sun will release ultraviolet rays or the UV rays. Okay. So these rays are harmful for us. Direct rays are harmful for us. So that's why we are protected by these rays through a ozone layer. This will absorb those harmful radiation of the sun, okay, or the UV radiation, ultraviolet rays. If it is directly falling on the earth, what happens? Your earth will what? Become heat or hot, okay. So your earth will become hot, right? You cannot bear that much of temperature, right? So it is protective shield or a protective covering, that is your ozone layer. Otherwise, if this layer is not present, what happens? The direct rays of the sun will fall on the earth and the temperature or the hotness of the earth will increase. Okay, that the organism like your free living organism cannot survive by taking those rays which are harmful and which has the high temperature, right? Or these are making the earth hot. Okay, so what happens? So ozone layer is your protective layer of the earth. It is protecting us from the UV radiation or the ultraviolet radiation from the sun. But nowadays what happened? This ozone layer is getting uh, damaged. Okay, so it is getting damaged because of the pollution. Okay, because of there is a pollution. So in the modern days, that is it, nowadays what happened? The air pollution has been increased. So because of the air pollutions and different types of pollutions, like we have the sound pollutions, right? So basically air pollution is causing the ozone layer depletion, or the, we can say, ozone layer is getting damaged by the air pollution, right? So it is very important to protect our ozone layer, as it is protecting us from the UV radiation. Okay, if the direct rays will come to the earth, it will heat up the earth's surface. Okay, so that we cannot able to survive in that heat condition. Okay, so today the next part, that is your rusting of iron. Okay, so Paheli said that even digestion is a chemical change. In Paheli and Gujo part, you have seen that is your digestion of the food, okay, and the preparation of food by the plants, that is your photosynthesis, and your digestion of food is also chemical changes, right? Then rusting of iron. So what happens in the rusting of iron? Let us get back to rusting. This is one change that affects iron particles and slowly destroy them. Destroy them means So they are damage the iron. Okay, destroying means damaging the iron. Since iron is used in making bridge, ships, car, truck, bodies and many other articles, the monetary loss due to rusting is huge. Okay, so iron get damaged because of what? So your iron substance or the materials get damaged because of the rusting, right? So because of rust, there is a loss of, or we have the, what they have written, loss. Okay, so we have the loss due to rusting. Okay, as your iron material nowadays, all the substance are made from the iron. Okay, and they are get rusted. Because of rusting, the parts of the, like your vehicle parts, like bridge, ships, so they are getting damaged. Okay, and they are lost for us. The process of rusting can be represented by the following equation. So the process of rusting can be represented by the following reaction, that is your iron. Okay, iron is denoted by Fe. Okay, so it is a symbol for your iron. Then oxygen. So oxygen is your O2. Okay, it is present in the air, right? Then when your iron particles or the substance is exposed to oxygen that is present in the air, okay, with the air which we are inhaling, then and water, so water that is represented by H2O, and finally it is forming rust. Okay, that is your iron oxide. Iron oxide Fe2O3. So how the actual rusting of iron taking place? Okay, rusting of what? Iron. Okay, rusting of a iron. When your iron substance or the materials when come into contact with the oxygen or the air along with the water or the moisture contained in the atmosphere, they are forming rust. Okay, so when you keep a metal or a iron metals for a longer time in a surrounding or in the outside your home, so it will react with the oxygen and moisture or water present in the atmosphere. So what happened? It will definitely convert into rust. Your iron will get damaged. Okay. So that is called rusting of iron. The process of rusting of iron can be represented as Fe for iron, oxygen, water, and finally the rust you can see. The rust, like if you are keeping a one nail for a longer time in the or outside your home, okay, so it will react with the air and some water, like your water moisture present in the air, and it come in contact with the water and air, and you can see the reddish deposition. Okay, reddish material has stuck to the surface of the iron nail. That is your rust. Okay, reddish brown color deposition coating you can see on the surface of the iron metal. That is your rust. Okay, for a rusting, the presence of both oxygen and water is essential. So rusting of iron will take place only in the presence of oxygen and water. Because of these oxygen and water only, your iron, I am taking the example of a nail, it will get rust or get damaged, right? So they are very essential for rusting of iron, that is your oxygen and water. In fact, if the content of moisture in the air is high, which means if there is more humid, rusting become faster. Okay. if the atmosphere or the air is a humid, okay, or it has a more moisture. Moisture means it has the water content, okay. Moisture means it has the more water content, that time the iron will easily get rusted, okay. But there is a, or we can say a sunny day, or a, what can say, a sunny day, or we can say very hot day, okay. So that time rusting will not take space actually. But if the climate is humid or it has more moisture content in the atmosphere, okay, so that time your iron will get rust. In fact, if the content of moisture is here in high, which means if it is more humid, rusting become faster. So, how do we prevent rusting? Prevent iron particles from coming in contact with oxygen, water or both. So, how we are preventing the rusting of iron? So, we should protect our iron substance from oxygen and water. So, how we are going to protect our iron particles? By oxygen and water. So, one simple way is to apply a coat of a paint or a grease. So, have you seen your iron metals or articles? What we are going to do? We are going to paint or grease them, right? Like if we have the metal door, window, gates, right? So, all we used to paint them, right? Different colors of painting we provide to protect them from rusting, right? Otherwise, we also make them with the, or we apply grease on them, right, so that it will not directly come into contact with the oxygen and water. As the earth was protected by the ozone layer from the sun, it is protecting, okay. So the ozone layer is protecting us from the harmful radiation, that is UV radiation from the sun. So directly the rays are not coming, otherwise direct rays are coming, so your earth become more hot, right. So same thing, if you have the iron gate or a window, doors, what we are going to do? We are going to apply a coating, okay. Apply a protective covering on the surface of the iron metals. It may be paint or a grease, okay. So paint or a grease. So what happens when we apply a protective covering on the surface of iron metal? So it can be prevented by the oxygen and water, and it cannot get rusted easily. So periodic or regular painting we have to done to the iron metals, so that it can be prevented by the rusting, right? In fact, these coats should be applied regularly. That's why they have given the coating should be applied regularly to prevent rusting, okay, right. So next part, what they have written, another way is to deposit a layer of a metal like a chromium or a zinc or iron on iron. So apart from applying the paint or grease, we have another method, that is another way of protecting our metal iron, that is layer of metal like chromium or a zinc. Okay, so another metals we are using like chromium and zinc are one type of a metal which are applied on the surface of the iron metal, right. The process of depositing a layer of a zinc on a iron is called galvanization, okay. There is a term called galvanization. As So, as we are taking a iron nail, okay, this is your iron metal, okay. So, this iron metal or the iron nail is coated. Depositing means we are applying a coat, okay, protective layer we are providing to save this iron metal. So what we are depositing? Zinc. So it is your iron, and on this surface we are applying zinc. Okay, or we are depositing the zinc on the surface of this iron nail. What happens? So that process is called your galvanization. Galvanization. Okay. So depositing of the zinc. Okay. So depositing of layer of a zinc on the surface of iron, that we called as a galvanization. Okay. So you know that so the iron pipes we use in our homes to carry water are galvanized. Okay. So the pipe so the iron pipes which we are using in our homes, so they are also are made with the process of galvanization, right? So you know that the ships are made up of iron and the parts of them remains under water, right? Have you seen the ships? So they are the vehicles of the water, right? Now we have the different vehicles like car, buses, scooter, bike, bicycle. So all these we are using on the land, but your ships, boats, which are using in the water. Okay, so the vehicles used in the water. So part remains underwater. So those vehicles remain in the water, right? On the part above the water also, water drops keep clinging to the ship's outer surface. Moreover, the water of the sea contain many salt. The salt water make the process of rusting formation faster. Therefore, ships suffer a lot of damage from rusting in spite of being painted. So much so that fraction of a ship's iron has been replaced everywhere. Stainless steel is made, then the box part. Stainless steel is made by mixing iron with the carbon and metal like chromium, nickel, magnesium, and it does not get rust. Okay, so first part is, so when we are putting the coating of a zinc or depositing a zinc on the surface of a iron, that process is called galvanization. But generally we apply paint grease to protect the iron surfaces or the iron material. In galvanization, we are using zinc on the surface of the iron. So what happens as we are talking about the ship? So in ship, as they are the vehicles of your water bodies, right? So we use the ships boat to travel through the water. So your ships and boats also get damaged with the water, and that sea water consists of salt. Okay, and that salt will damage the boats or the ships. That's why what they have written, the parts of the ship's iron parts are replaced every year, because there is a damage to the surface of the iron because of the salt content of the sea, right? And have you heard about the stainless steel? Okay, stainless steel articles we have, right? So those are made by mixing of iron with the carbon and like your metals chromium, nickel and magnesium. So those stainless steels are made from these types of metals like carbon. So we are mixing iron with carbon and chromium, nickel, magnesium. So all these metals are used to make a stainless steel articles, which that's why they do not get rusted. Okay. So that's why we call as them stainless steel. So they are not easily get rusted through the air or the water, right? So hope you understand about the today's class where we have studied what is a rust. So whenever there is a rusting of iron takes place, so there will always the presence of oxygen and water which is causing the rust to the iron, right? So hope you understand about the today's class. Once again go through the topic. You will easily understand what is galvanization and rusting of iron. Thank you.